welcome to my channel. In this video, I want to talk about Ostara. Ostara is the final planting festival in the Wheel of the Year, and it's usually celebrated around March 19th to March 23rd. These dates fall on the first day of spring as well, so it's also the same time as the spring equinox. Ostara and spring have a lot in common. Spring and Ostara bring new growth. We feel full of excitement and anticipation for possibilities. We're optimistic. During spring is the time to start new projects, get creative, and explore different possibilities. Spring can also bring balance and healing and growth. It's a time to celebrate the return of the sun, and the first day of spring, light and dark is equal. Spring energy is full of light, hope, growth, fertility, and new beginnings. The vibe of Ostara is fresh ideas, new beginnings, creativity, fertility, abundance, rebirth, and balance. So spring and Ostara are very similar, and in this video I want to show you a ritual that you can do that includes your familiar for this time of the year, and that will help you in manifesting your goals. It's something that I really enjoy doing every year, and it really helps with my manifestation process and working with the natural cycles, nature, and the wheel of the year, as well as my familiar's energy. I posted this ritual in my Patreon over a week ago, so if you are part of my Patreon, you would have seen this first, and you would have read all about this ritual first and have a really detailed explanation. The first thing to think about before starting the ritual is what your intentions are for spring and summer. What do you want to manifest in your life for spring and summer? What do you want to bring into your life? What areas do you want to find growth? These are things that you will tend to and grow during spring and summer, and around autumn or harvesting season, this is when you can start to receive or really see those manifestations come to life. So this is the time to set those intentions and start to take slow action towards growth and abundance. So what do you want to manifest this year? The first thing is to write down your manifestations. Become really clear on them and write it in the present tense as if it is already happening to you. So I start with saying, I'm so happy and grateful that. And then there's a visualization process that you can do that involves your familiar. I have that on my Patreon, but briefly what you're doing is just visualizing what your life will be like. So get in a meditative state and include all your senses in the visualization. Like, what will my home smell like when I achieve this goal? What will my familiar be doing? What will my familiar smell? How will my familiar feel? What kind of sounds will be around when I achieve this? What I really like to do is to think of an event or something that can occur when I know that I've manifested this or accomplished this goal. What is that moment where I'm like, okay, it's done, I did it, and visualize that moment. For example, if I want to move into a new house, I will visualize myself in that new house, either signing the papers or unloading boxes in the home, something that's really concrete, that when this event occurs, I know that I've received my manifestation. Once you've written your intentions down and you've done some visualizing around it, tell your familiar, talk to your familiar, and say out loud to them what you wrote down and what you saw in your visualizations. Let them know, get them in on the secret, on the manifestation, and they can help you throughout the process when they know the outcome and the goal that you are headed in. And let them know how their life will change and what will look different for them and you and your daily routine when you achieve this, when you receive this manifestation. Now you're super clear on your vision and your goals and your intentions, and so is your familiar. So now we can do our ritual. You will need a hard-boiled egg. You can use one or as many as you want. Hard-boiled eggs symbolize growth. You will need honey, which symbolizes attraction and protection, and your choice of herbs, oils, or flowers to symbolize or are associated with your intention. You're also going to need a glass jar that is large enough to fit all of your eggs, and a candle, and have the color of that candle either white or another color associated with your intention. Some fur from your familiar's brush, and then you're ready to start. First, write or draw on your egg. You can also do the traditional Easter style eggs where you dye them and decorate them and make them really pretty, but draw pictures or decorate them in the style that symbolizes your intention, or write words on it that represent your intention. You can even write your intention on it. Then dab or brush on some honey anywhere that you want on the egg. Use as much or as little as you want. Place your egg in your jar. You can choose to decorate your jar or put straw or something soft in the bottom of the jar for your egg. Once your egg is in the jar, add flowers or herbs or oils or anything that you've chosen that also symbolizes your intention. Something that is also fun is to go on a nature walk and collect some things with your familiar. Take your familiar with you on the walk, of course, if that's available to you, and collect some things to add to your jar. You can also ask your familiar what they want to add to the jar. Before you close your jar with the lid, show the jar to your familiar and see if they want to offer some energy into the jar. You can remind your familiar of the intention or just explain to them what is in the jar and what this jar is about. This is also a good time to meditate with your jar and just put your energy into the jar as well. Once your jar is closed, attach a candle to the lid, or just light a candle next to your jar if you don't want it on the lid. Light your candle and let it burn through. Here it's also optional to do some wax reading, and what that is just basically looking at the symbols or picture that the wax has melted in and see if you can get any symbolism or interpretation from how the wax has melted. You can also look at the flame as the candle's burning, and there are lots of different ways to read a candle flame. Depending how the candle burns, you can look into what that may mean for your intention. Finally, place the jar somewhere where you can see it every day. You can send it love, where your familiar can see it every day and they can send it love. And when you feel the time's right, you can take your jar apart, whether that's at the end of spring or in a few weeks or mid-spring. You can bury your egg outside, you can eat your egg, whatever you feel most comfortable with, or how you want to release the egg and the energy in the jar. Just trust that you and your familiar have set this intention and the universe is taking care of the rest. I hope you enjoyed this fun activity or ritual that you can do for Ostara that involves your familiar. If you like these kind of activities and rituals, you can join me on Patreon because I post one in there monthly. I also have monthly energy readings and messages from your familiar and animal spirit guides on my Patreon. You can also join my Facebook group, Living with Familiars, to connect with other animal lovers with a similar mindset and values. And I have also posted a meditation for Ostara, which is connecting to your rabbit spirit guide. So be sure to check all of that out. And please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.